Today we're going to be taking a look at the perfect setup for an electrician for their tool pouch. You guys, I'm so excited to get into this. I just got my hands on this setup and I love it for a couple different reasons. Now, I will go through and explain as we go along. I'll show you guys all the tools that I keep, that I use, explain my workflow a little bit, and I'll show you guys at the end how I trade them out and diversify, because it doesn't leave a lot of room. But I like that. I don't want to carry a ton of tools around. I don't want to be heavy. I want to be able to move. I want to be able to work and flow. So I'll go through that. Now, before we get into it, I want to say thank you to our sponsor, Markate. They're the reason why we're able to make videos like this one here today. They're great for service-based businesses. They really help organize and professionalize. You're able to send invoices. You're able to schedule. You're able to put in your customers' information, stay up to date on the progress. You're able to do all this at such an affordable price. It's an amazing tool, you guys. Go check that out. I'll leave a link in the description. Start a 2-week free trial. You guys won't regret it. But we'll get into this now. Now, this tool pouch here is from Atlas 46. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, check them out. They're made in America. Everything's got a lifetime guarantee, which is fantastic. Lifetime guarantee. That right there is amazing. And so a couple things that I like about this tool pouch, we'll get into the storage in a second, but one very important thing for a tool pouch for me is how it clips on, how it's attached. This setup here is a little clip, and basically in order to unclip this part right here, you pull back on this little string and it moves over. It's super secure, but it's super easy. And the reason I like it to be like that is because everybody knows when you're crawling around and stuff, you don't want to have it on your waist, right? You want to be able to take it off. You want to be able to move it to a different hip. Sometimes you're working, I work service, so I work in all kinds of different environments, and sometimes you can't move stuff, but you're working over your right side. And so instead of having my tool pouch here, sometimes I like to move it to the front. Sometimes I like to move it to my left side if I need to, or when you're crawling around to just take it off, or when you go to the bathroom, when you go to walk across to get whatever you're going to get, you don't have to take it with you everywhere. Super cool little design. To clip it back, all you have to do is, it's really hard when it's the opposite way, but you just slide it over. It's super easy. I made it look a little bit difficult there, but like I said, and then just to take it off, you just pull this clip, boom, and you just slide it through your belt. It's a great system. I like this system a lot. And then it just clips on. Now, that part of it is cool. It's super well made. You know, like I said, lifetime guarantee. Atlas 46, their stuff is so amazing. So we'll get into the contents and how I have it set up. Look at that beauty, you guys. There is a lot going on there. We got a lot of options, and there's not a whole lot that we cannot do. So we'll go ahead and start off in the front here. We have this tape from Tough Built. It's their 25-foot magnetic tape measure. We'll unclip it. As you guys can see, there's just a little patch here, and you can put whatever you want to through there. It goes all the way through. So if you weren't using a tape, if you wanted to put your knife on there or an impact or whatever you like, tape is usually what I have on there, because how often are you not measuring? It's possible. We'll get into that at the end. Tape just goes on the front. I like this one from Tough Built quite a bit. It's got a good standout, super thick blade. It's 1.25 inches, I believe. It's got writing on the back, which is so important because you measure over your head a lot. It's got a little button here that is fantastic. That way you don't have to clip your fingers. The magnet is very strong. It's a very good strength, which is cool. And then on top of all of that, the hook here is pretty solid. It's got 2 little points up top and this bottom section, which I like. I like this tape a lot. It's yellow and black. Don't like DeWalt, but I do like Tough Built. It's a solid tape measure. 11-foot standout. I think I got to almost 12 when I was doing it. So great standout, great tape measure. You want it to be magnetic. You want writing on the bottom. Those are the 2 biggest things, and you want to have a good standout. So there's our tape. We'll go ahead and go through this side. So as you guys can see, I have the knife clipped on the back and the level in this actual pouch here. So we'll go ahead and start with the knife. This is from Fiskars. Got this one from Lowe's. They have them on Amazon as well. I'll leave a link to all of this stuff in the description. It's super smooth. The action on it is great. You just press this little button here. You press this button here and it unlocks it. And the same thing, to press it down, you press the button and it just folds. I mean, it's great. It's super smooth. It's very similar. A lot of people like the Milwaukee Fastbacks. This is my baby though. The orange here is comfortable. It's a rubber. It's softer like what you would find on VDE pliers. And the black here is a hard plastic. It just fits my hand nicely. To change the blades out, you just press this silver part in and pull it back and the blades slip out. No extra tools, no special blades or anything like that. Super cool. Just clips back in there. Super fast, super easy. There's no blade storage on this. That's not a big deal for me. I can keep a spare blade or two around whenever I need one. But yeah, I like it. The clip's decent. I've pried it out a little bit so that way it fits into stuff easier because they always come tight. But this sits on the back here. On top of that, in this pocket, I've got this level from Klein. It's my baby. It pretty much goes everywhere with me all the time. And there is I found no better level. It gives you everything you need. It's great. It's affordable. You've got 0, 90, 45, and 30 degrees. The bubbles are super easy to read with the green dye in there. The magnets are insane. They're crazy strong. It's got a no dog, and it's a 6-inch level. I don't like anything smaller than that because of just accuracy and stuff like that. I don't like anything bigger than that because of fitting on different things, especially pipe. Sometimes you don't have 9 inches worth of pipe to fit that on, especially if you're just doing a small offset. You don't always have room to get that large of a level. But this thing right here is great. It's got a no dog on it, which is important. When you need it, which hopefully isn't too often for you. Awesome level here, and it just slides in this pocket. This is technically on the back side of my pouch because it sits on my right hip all the time. So we'll go over and do this side now. So on the back of this one, I've got this FLIR voltage detector. It's just a hot stick. It does AC and DC voltage. It's been super reliable. It's probably been the most reliable out of any hot stick I've ever used. So to turn it on, you press the button. When it's green, that means it's AC. When it's orange, that means it's DC. So from there, if you press the button on this side, it turns into a flashlight. And then if I turn that off, it does turn back on immediately, which is cool. It's been, like I said, more reliable than any other voltage detector that I've used. I really like this one here a lot, and it's lasted for forever. The batteries do really well in this. It's just a solid piece, honestly, and I like having a flashlight on here. When your headlamp dies, when something like that dies, it's just nice to be able to use this. But it sits on the back. Well, I guess technically this is the front. And it just slides in this little section here. The clip fits on the outside of this pocket. And from there, in this pocket, I've got these wire strippers from Knipex. They fit very nicely down in there. These wire strippers have a couple functions that make them better than other wire strippers. For one, they're from Knipex. I love their stuff. But this is just the regular handle. We don't have the VDE handle in America yet. They do have them in Europe. So we're getting them soon is what that means, I believe. I'm really hoping. But it does a couple of things that help you not need so many tools. For one, the cutters on these are so much better. Those are shears. Knipex pliers are always amazing. They cut super well. And these pliers are no different. They cut, MC cable, they cut everything just like butter. It's actually insane how easy they cut. They have a locking button on this side. So you just close it and flip this up. Same thing to unlock it. You just boom, boom. The jaw here is a little bit wider, so if you like to twist your wires, you can. I would prefer it be skinnier, but if you like to use your linements to twist your wires or to grab stuff like that, you can. Especially with this setup, it's super light, and I don't actually have a set of linements in this. But on the inside here, there are grooves for you to use to pull on your wire so you don't nick up the covering. And then from there, it strips 20 through 12 stranded. It does 10 through 18 solid. So like the thing that really separates this is the ability to cut. The wire stripping, guys, stripping is the same everywhere. However, the cutters are much better. And same thing with the bolt cutters. It cuts 832 and 632 screws, which are your device screws, you know, the ones that hold your device into your box and that hold your cover onto your device. They cut those. They cut them extremely well. Like these pliers, they're expensive for wire strippers. They're so worth it. These things are a game changer. I love these pliers from Knipex. On to our next little section here. We'll go with this front pocket, and it's one pocket, both screwdrivers, so we'll pull them out together. And they just fit in there nicely. They don't overcrowd. You can pull one out without pulling the other out, but we'll pull them both out. And these are my two babies. These are my two dedicated screwdrivers that I use. And they change from time to time. Sometimes I'll have an insulated screwdriver if I'm doing wiring or something like that, but we'll get into that when I get to the end. Your pouch can change depending on your situation. This is the base that gets me through just about anything. We've got two screwdrivers here, and they're my favorite types of screwdrivers from Wera. One, this red and yellow one here, is an insulated driver. It's a number 2 Phillips. It's amazing. You probably can't see it, but it's got these little tips on it, these lines in the tip there that make it grab screws so much better than any other screwdriver. I thought it was gimmicky. I thought it was fake. It's very real. Aside from that, it fits in my hand extremely nicely. It's got the perfect grooves for my fingers. It's ergonomic. It's comfortable. I never thought I would love a screwdriver so much. Wera screwdrivers are phenomenal. Now, that being said, this is a number 2 Phillips. It's what we run into the most. This is a flathead. Now, this is actually a chisel driver, but it's the size of a normal flathead screwdriver, just about what you would use anytime. But it's got this striking cap on the back. Now, that is not the screwdriver that I would use if I were working with wiring and stuff like that. But if I'm doing something like running pipe or just regular stuff, then it doesn't matter, and I don't need an insulated driver unless I'm working on something hot. Now because this goes all the way through, this and this metal are connected, so I would not want to get shocked. It's got a shank here. In case you want to put some more torque on it, you can grab that down there. It's amazing. These chisel drivers are so much better than the normal beaters. A lot of people like the Kleins for their beater screwdrivers, just the normal ones. This is so much better than that. It's built so well, and I'm telling you guys, the handle's ergonomic. You can use it as a flathead to open up screws and stuff like that. But more than that, you'll take your diagonal cutters out, which I'm going to give away the next tool right now, but take them out, beat on them with it. You'll knock out your boxes with this, your knockouts on there. You will tighten lock rings with this. You'll do all kinds of stuff, and you'll just be able to just yam it in there. You can play that game where you tap and your buddies get all nervous. I hate that game. I hate that game with a passion. Let me know in the comments if you've ever played that game at the lunch table or wherever. They always use a knife. Chisel driver is the new knife. Super solid screwdriver. This is the chisel driver. I'll leave a link to this one. I've got a bigger one too that I carry sometimes. I'll leave them both in the description. And then finally, in this last section here, it's this plier right here. It goes all the way to the bottom. These are the 10-inch diagonal cutters. These things are amazing. These are from Knipex. They're insulated, 1000 volt rated. You guys, these pliers are dogs. There's one complaint I have about them, and it's that they are not angled, but they don't make the 10-inch version and an angled version. However, these things are amazing. They cut so well. The leverage is crazy. Knipex cutting is just like phenomenal. All of their pliers cut so well, and these are no different. They've been great. So far, the finish on them is amazing. They're not too big. As you can see down here at the bottom, they don't open up super wide when they're closed. Like, the handle's a good length, so I still have a lot of control down here at the bottom when I'm squeezing. I can still manipulate them and control them, and it goes all the way up to the top. The handles are just incredibly comfortable. Aside from safety for being insulated, the insulated handles are way more ergonomic and comfortable. The yellow is it's a softer rubber, and the red has got some texture to it. It's not just a hard plastic It's just nice. It's just nice. If you haven't tried these, check them out. If you want the 8-inch version, check those out too. Just get the VDE for the sake of protection and also for the sake of being cool. Yellow and red's cool. I like yellow and red. But that is the way that I am able to just pretty much do almost anything. Now there are a couple of things that I cannot do. So I've set this up in the way that it was configured before, and I'll go ahead and show you guys what I replace when I replace it. If I'm running pipe, I'll pull out these diagonal cutters and replace them with some Cobras, and they just fit in there nicely. If you have the thin handles, you can put 2 pairs in there, no problem. If you're like me, you forgot your thin handles at work today, don't leave your pliers in the gang box. Don't do it. So you can replace those or your wire strippers. The more you're working with wiring, obviously the more you'll change, or the more you're working with materials like boxes and pipe and that type of stuff, you'll change. So if I were doing more wiring, I would take out the chisel driver and I would replace it with an actual insulated flathead screwdriver from Wera. But that way I can have my protection and it fits better in screws versus this is more of a workhorse. You know, that's a thing. Or if you are running into a bunch of different types of screws and you want more of a multi-driver, you can take out your number 2 Phillips and you can replace it with this baby here from Wera. This thing is a multi-driver and basically it accepts bits down here in the end. I've got a flathead in there right now, but if you pop that out, there's a button on the back here, this green button. If you press it, it opens up all these bits. And I've got mine customized out right now. So I've got a number 2 Phillips, number 1 Phillips, T25, T30 Torx. I've got a number 3 Phillips, a number 2, and a number 1 square. That is the setup that I like to keep this in, configure this in. And the cool thing about this is if you press this green collar down here, you can press it in. And then when you want to extend it, if you press it to get it out, you hold it down and it comes out. You can throw this in your impact. You can throw it wherever. But you have a little bit shorter of a screwdriver. You can replace the blades if you want. You can do whatever you want with it. But it gives you a lot of versatility. And that way, if you want to, because you're running into whatever you're running into, you can just keep that baby in there with you. It's a pretty little pouch, I'm telling you guys. I like the way that it's set up a lot. I like how easy it is to take in and out off of your person. You can replace it, you can move it. Very versatile, very well constructed, and it's a lifetime guarantee. That's what I use day to day. It's one of the best ways I've found to keep my tools close, to not be so overwhelmed with stuff that I am like, what am I going to do with all this weight on my body? Now, I love this tape measure, and I just got it, and I've been loving using it so far. So if you guys want to see some super cool tools from Tough Built, go ahead, head up to this video and watch this next. Or if you're interested in finding out more about being an electrician, head up here and watch this video. But remember, you guys, it's all for His glory, and I will see you guys on the next one.